Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new YouTube video. So I've got this whiteboard where I'm going to be explaining some simple things about building your influence as an online coach. Now, what I mean by this is there's a lot of people that fully rely on strategy, they fully rely on the systems, but if you don't understand how to build that compounding effect to build your influence over time, then it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be really hard to get more clients, to be more profitable. And these are kind of the 3 steps that I put out for you guys. Maybe I should be on this side. That is going to show you exactly what to do. Okay. So the first thing, if I go on this side, it's getting in watch time. Now, what I mean by that is following the 7-11-4 rule. Now, those that aren't aware, the 7-11-4 rule is when someone spends 7 hours watching your content, consuming your content. This could be emails, YouTube videos like this, reels, etc. Over 11 different touch points. So maybe you watch a YouTube video, you read an email, 11 different places, like touch points where they can consume that information in 4 different places. Now, for those that aren't aware, I've got my system for this, and let me just break that down for you. Okay, so as you guys can tell, here is the crafted ad or the creative force system that is gonna happen over these 4 touch points, okay? So that is making sure that you have these 4 different touch points and making sure that you actually have a system around this, okay? So the system is having organic or a crafted ad in order to get predictability, building content in order for you to actually nurture those people, building a community. In my mind, a community is just an email list or some place where people can, sign up and opt in to join that email list, and then having conversations. So we technically have 4 places where they can get value from me, right? YouTube, Instagram, emails, right? And technically my free community Skool, where you can join. If you want to join, link is in the description. You can learn more about Creator 1 and my program, okay? So this is the most important thing, is getting in the watch time. Now, I mentioned on my stories not too long ago that YouTube is the most important asset for your coaching business. And the reason why is because people spend time with you. They're not, consuming emails all day. They're not consuming, people do consume reels all day as well, but it only is a surface level amount of depth. People don't really get to know you. In these videos, you'll get to really know me. You'll get to know my systems, my vehicle, and how I can help, okay? So getting in watch time, that's the only thing that should be on your mind when growing as a coach, okay? And following this 7-4 rule. For example, this video, it could be 10, 20, 30 minutes, and you'll be more warm, you'll be more nurtured in my brand and how I can help, okay? The second one is building your schedule. Obviously, this is kind of the goal, right? This is the goal that you want to try to achieve, getting in watch time, okay? Now, when it comes to this, the watch time is really the ultimate thing that you should be trying to achieve. Now, in order to get this watch time, you need to find a way to build a schedule so you can be consistent with putting out content, okay? So we're gonna dive into this in a few seconds here, building your schedule. And the third thing I want to touch upon in this video is the daily non-negotiables that you have to actually follow in order to actually close and actually sign clients, okay? So let me just kind of reset this board and focus on the schedule. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly just reset this real quick and go over the schedule that you should follow in order to not only make content, but also not burning yourself out, because a lot of people just do this for a week, for a month, and then they stop, and it's like, no wonder people don't get in those 7 hours of content, because you're not being consistent, okay? So the simplest thing that anyone can start for a coaching business is doing 1 YouTube video a week, okay? So YouTube, 1 per week. Okay, so 1 YouTube video per week. In terms of reels, that type of thing, you should do, I'm just gonna call it IG posts. In Creator 1, we only use Instagram and YouTube. We don't do anything else, we don't do Twitter. So if you like Twitter, you know, I'm not going to be able to necessarily help you because we focus on Instagram, especially because Instagram has the ad platform and all of that good stuff, okay? So Instagram, 1 per day, okay? And you might be thinking, crap, like that's a lot of work. However, I just want to preface, when I say 1 per day, this could be a carousel, this could be a regular lifestyle post, this could be a small reel where you're speaking. The key thing is, whenever we're making content on the short form platform, the only goal, literally the only goal to make those short form pieces of content is just to send them to your YouTube. That's literally the only thing that you should be doing from Instagram, from short form content, okay? And because of that, we make simple content that touches on the pain problems and that repels anyone that isn't our perfect fit client. Now, let me tell you a story about one of my clients that I was helping that had 800,000 followers. Now, he had 800,000 followers, but he couldn't convert any of those people. Why? Because he was entertaining and, you know, being goofy and funny, but it didn't align with the fitness offer that he was actually selling. So he had 800,000 people that knew him on a surface level or were just there for the wrong reasons and never converted into being a paying client. And there's no point in building your social media if you can't actually convert those people. So with these one piece of content per day, we want to quote unquote make boring content. We only want to make content that will relate to the people that actually have that problem, okay? If you make a video where you're speaking to your target audience, you don't have any editing, you don't have any B-roll, that is totally fine. You basically just want to repel anyone that doesn't fit that exact person. So you don't have to do fancy edits. You just have to touch upon the pain problem, reveal your values, your beliefs, and how your program can help and how it's different from anything else that they've tried in the past, okay? So this is 100% doable. Now, do you want to split things up with carousels? Yes, you can do it. If I just want to give you a little breakdown on how that can work, you can do, let's go over here. You can do, let's say 3 carousels. And the cool thing about carousels is it's almost like a free retargeting ad, because most of the people that see your carousels are gonna already be following you on Instagram. So this doesn't necessarily grow your account, but it nurtures people, and it's a good way to get people interested in watching your YouTube content if you've got a good call to action. So the second thing is, obviously you need to have reels, right? You need to have things that is video based, mostly head talking stuff, mostly stuff that is educational, that shifts their beliefs and gets them interested to watch your YouTube. Okay, so 3 reels per week. And then you can have 1 goofy post, right? Or 1 quote unquote lifestyle post. This final one is kind of like, it's kind of like a funky one, right? It can be something that's just a life update or something along those lines, okay? Something that's kind of, it's like a Joker day. You could even take 1 day off of the week, that's up to you, but it's good to post every single day. Now, if you really break it down, that's very, very doable, right? Like 3 reels per week, anyone can do that. Anyone can speak for 60 seconds to a camera. If you can't, you're not set out for business. You can schedule this ahead of time, okay? So 1 YouTube video per week. These are all minimums, by the way. I'm trying to do 3 to 4 YouTube videos a week, just because I want to speed up that process of warming people up. Now, these are kind of, this is the schedule, right? This is the schedule / habits, okay? So we've got YouTube, we've got Instagram. Now the third one is 30 minutes of messaging new followers, new leads every single day. So 30 minutes of messaging. Now, you may hate this, but this is the essential thing that you need to do if you want to win. This speeds up the warming up process. Some people that have a huge audience, they don't need to do this because their content is so dialed in, it just isn't worth their time. So their content will do the quote unquote warming up for them, that people don't need to have messages, they just instantly buy. However, for 99.9% of you watching, messaging is what's going to get the sale closed. It's what's going to get those sales calls booked and get them into your program, okay? So we've got messaging. Now let's get on to the fourth one. Now this is essential, okay? This is stories. 3 stories per day. Now, what are these stories about? These stories are talking about client wins, right? Documenting your journey. So your journey, right? And just lifestyle stuff, right? Depending on what your offer is, sometimes, let's say I've got a business offer. My offer, it's very logical. It's very numbers based. And that's what my stories are going to entail. If you're helping someone getting fit, you know, attracting women, whatever, getting rich, your stories are going to be more lifestyle based because it's attracting kind of like a beginner, right? Someone that's at the bottom stage. I'm already helping people that already have an existing coaching business, so my stories are more logical. Okay, so think about what stories people actually want to see and what's going to push them over the edge, and nurture them with those results that you're getting, because that's going to be important. Okay, so the final one, there's only 5 things that you need to do. And like I said, even if you do all 3 of these, you're going to be great, right? You're going to be more than on your way. The final thing is, do some sort of reflection. Do some sort of tracking every single day. Now, within Creator One, we know exactly what to track. We track our ad metrics, we track our followers, we track every single metric, so we know what we're doing. The biggest thing that I do is every single day that I wake up, the first thing I do is track my ads, write down the metrics, and know where I'm going wrong and know where I can improve on. And this is something that not everyone does, and that's why they don't make logical decisions. For example, you might be spending $50 a day on ads, and you might think, geez, oh my God, I'm losing $50 every single day. But if you wrote down the return on a sheet, and you see that you're getting more money every month from spending those money on ads, it's not gonna seem like it's a lot of money, because you're seeing the return. And that's where people go wrong. If they don't track anything and they're spending money on ads, they just kind of, yeah, and this doesn't only go for ads. This goes for sales calls. This goes for client results. This goes for content ideas. If you just have a tracking sheet or a tracking system, you're going to make more calculated decisions, okay? So these are the only habits that you should be focusing on if you want to grow your coaching business. Now, of course, there's other things that you can be doing. There's automations, but these are the non-negotiables, right? These are the non-negotiables that you should be doing on a daily and weekly basis. And this is going to get you ahead, okay? So let's just kind of give you a little summary of what we spoke about in this video, okay? The most important thing in your coaching business is going to be watch time. Now, a lot of people, and I see this all the time, they have their Instagram page, they don't have a YouTube channel, and it takes people a long, long time for them to convert because they don't have nurturing assets that people can watch, okay? So let's think of Netflix, okay? Netflix. How does Netflix keep people on the platform? How does Netflix keep these die-hard true fans on the platform? They make series, right? They make Netflix, they have their own production company and they make series, right? And the funny thing about a series is that's where you really get those die-hard fans, right? Where you have a sequel of videos that tells people the story, that educates people, and that's how you need to think about your YouTube. Is if you want die-hard fans watching your stuff, consuming your stuff, and being constant, like perfectly aligned, think of your YouTube like a Netflix series, right? A lot of people will make one piece of content and then make a different piece of content in a completely different angle, or, you know, just think of it like once you find something that's easy and for you to create, easier for you to develop, just like this video right here, just double down on it. Don't think too much about making things perfect or making the perfect viral thumbnail. Of course, titles and thumbnails are great, but just think of it like a Netflix series. Think about it like you're just giving people the steps, the failures that you've taken, and just giving them the sauce to make those steps quicker, okay? And don't be scared to give everything that you know in your YouTube videos. On these YouTube videos, sure, I'm speaking just from the top of my head, but I'm trying to give you as much value as I possibly can, okay? So make your YouTube like a Netflix series. I spoke with a client today about YouTube, and it's like he's been struggling to just start, because we've got a system within YouTube where we've got, it's called the 1 VSL. So we've got the 1 VSL, which is this golden YouTube video, right? And this golden YouTube video is what converts people to sales, right? And this YouTube video, this 1 VSL, right? It's got a specific structure, okay? And it's got structure. You need to include your story, your case studies, how you can get results, your unique mechanism. But because it was such a complicated video to create in his mind, there was a lot of resistance. So I told him, just make a sit-down video. Just take out your phone and start recording your journey, and then get comfortable with making YouTube videos, and then you can create the 1 VSL. Because a big thing that people struggle with YouTube is they're like, oh my God, it's such a big platform. They're looking at people like Mr. Beast and they think it needs to be all high quality. That's not the case, okay? So within Creator One, my program, the 1 VSL does the converting, and then we've got different YouTube assets. For example, like vlogs, sit-down videos, belief-shifting videos, like educational type stuff. And all of this content, of course, it's got call to actions at the end, right? It's got CTAs. However, we've got kind of two main CTAs. It's either DM me on Instagram or book a call, or if you want to learn my system on how I'm able to take coaches to 20K a month profit and become autonomy creators. If you're the first time on my channel, an autonomy creator is someone that's, makes 20K a month profit, has freedom, and is able to work with amazing, perfect fit clients, and has peace, passion, and profit in their business, okay? So all these different YouTube assets, they've got a call to action to obviously make money, right? To get them on calls, to get people in your DMs on Instagram. However, they're also got a call to action, learn about my system. You can even see this on this YouTube video that you're watching now. And that's gonna send people to your 1 VSL. Why? Because you want them to you don't want people to hop on a call with you that don't know what your offer is, don't know how it works. You want people warm. You want people to not only be warm, but also consume those 7 hours of content so we can easily scale and easily get people into your program. So I hope this helps, and I hope this gave you a bit of an overview of how this works, but it's very simple. YouTube is the main hub that converts. Short form content is to spark initial interest and then get them to YouTube. That's it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm just gonna have proof of concept in this video. If you wanna learn my system, the Creator 4 system to scale your coaching business, click the first link in the description. You can join my free Skool community, it's in the description as well. If you wanna book a call and learn about how to join Creator 1, it's in the description too. Other than that, guys, have an amazing day. Peace.